ridiculous.
I don't think I'll be able to listen to it. Just for the pure fact, one, I hate Jordan Peterson.
What do you mean? You don't want to listen to this?
Yeah, I hate him probably for the same reason M hates him.
Yeah.
He's too whiny.
And the second fact is that even if I did like him, I couldn't stand his voice.
Come on, man.
So,
Well,
for that reason, I'm out.
That right there is the problem, man. That's the problem. I don't like a lot of this stuff.
He just has a lot of awful takes. And,
I think to some degree, I think people misunderstand the context in which he's talking about, but there are some takes, I do agree, that are out there. And he's changed a lot of it too, like, because he is more of he's like he comes from a liberal arts college, so like he's not afraid to like change his opinion, which I like. I like when people can actually be swayed this way and that way, and they're not just mindless talking heads.
Yeah, I just think he panders.
I don't know. I feel like you have to appreciate.
There's some stuff where, like, if you're gonna have an opinion about it, have a fucking opinion about it. Don't have a backbone.
Can people not be swayed?
I'm not saying that they can't be swayed. I think you can be swayed on some things, but if every single take you have is like, ooh, like, I'm gonna change my mind and say this, and I never said that, like, then you're a fucking pussy.
Yeah, to some degree, but I don't think he's done that.
Oh my god. Sorry, I'm saying that just makes me laugh.
I love
I don't know. I just don't like, I agree. Like, there's a lot of opinions I have had younger that now that I'm older, I've changed my opinion on. To a degree, though. Like, I still have the same beliefs, but I am lighter on them.
Yeah.
Like, I can be more open-minded towards other people's opinions.
I feel like I'm less opinionated as I've gotten older, too. Because I do change my mind pretty often. Because I feel like, I feel like this time frame in our life, like the 10 years from like when you get out of college to when you're like, maybe even into your, like, maybe as you're getting into 40s, like, it's such a transitional time period because you are reassessing your beliefs. Because I think largely for a lot of us, like, our beliefs were largely our parents' beliefs growing up. And as we get to this stage where we're like working and we're experiencing things about life, we're now starting to formulate our own beliefs instead of relying on these archetypes that our parents created for us and largely society created for us. It's kind of interesting, honestly.
I can agree with that. I think now is the time in our lives where we're maybe like forming our true beliefs and like making decisions for ourselves. But Jordan Peterson's a fucking old dirtbag. So what's his excuse?
What is? I don't
even know who he is, Gus.
Look him up, Jer.
Yeah, I don't think he's got the worst opinions ever. I don't agree with all of it, but I don't. Is there something I don't know?
To die in the rain.
I can send you some stuff.
Yeah, because I like for the most part, I just know him as a like I watch a lot of his like he releases free streams of his like educational courses. Like he does one on the Acts and like different books in the Bible, and I like that. I also like his talks on philosophy and like he's at heart he's a psychiatrist.
I personally just don't
like
listen to him
this.
because his voice is an instant turn off, and if I can't listen to a person's voice, I can't listen to them.
Yeah, it is horribly brutal.
I feel how M feels about Jordan Peterson, about people like Charlie Kirk, for example. Like I get that annoyed by people like Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean?
Who's Charlie Kirk?
He's this piece of shit that goes on colleges' campuses and tries to antagonize students that don't have the same political views as him.
Charlie Kirk. Let me look him
He's
up.
this little snub-nosed pussy.
Charlie Kirk. Oh, this guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's interesting.
And
he's
like
a fast talker.
I'm
That's what
fine.
I
Yeah, it's kind of like he talks kind of like Ben Shapiro, but like I'm all for like people having differentiating opinions, but don't go over to them and try to make them feel stupid for their opinion, because then they're never
This
going to
guy
see your point of
summed it
view.
up pretty well.
Yeah. I've seen a few. I always chalk that up to the fast talking debate people.
I can't stand fast talking. It's like, just why do you get this? Is it they talk fast to sound smarter than you? Is that
Well,
like the?
I think
shtick?
it is, but I do think they have like hyper pathways for speech to thought, and they are intelligent people,
Right.
but they use a lot of bullying tactics,
Yeah.
like debate tactics, instead of actually having a dialogue, because they've already arrived to whatever they're so good at debating. They've already arrived to your argument. They already know the base level of your argument and how to attack it. These
Yeah.
are people that spent hours and hours in debate club learning how to argue, not learning how to have a dialogue.
Yeah, like I get if you want to win the debate, cool, dude. But like, I want to understand whatever opinion you're going blah, 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 about. Don't sit there while I'm trying to understand your side and go, I'm going to figure out what his shtick is and destroy him before he has a chance for him to understand.
I've seen him do where he actually has like normal debates with people,
Ugh.
and they aren't bad. They're actually pretty cordial, but I think he gets fired up. And you got a whole crowd like this one. It's
Yeah.
a gigantic crowd of people, so he's probably all fired up. And
I can't I'll never get to
Riddling.
the normal ones because all I've seen are the inflammatory ones, and that's all I need to see to be like,
Well,
that's
that's
just
the
not for me.
popular ones that are just throwing up whatever is
my-
popular.
My thing is, let alone everything I just put in chat, which is just like his fundamental beliefs that are like a
here we go.
little
I didn't see
messy. It's like his gender discrimination, stuff like that gets me more than anything. And I think he's a little bit hypocritical.
Postmodern.
But it's also
Oh,
fucking
wow.
weird if you've ever read his book, and he talks about having a dream about having sex with his grandmother.
Peterson was also
Like, yeah, he's like a little
Whoa,
fucked
what?
up.
He did what with his grandma?
Yeah, he had a dream about having sex with his grandma.
I also didn't know
I've
he
had
had
And
abuse
talks about
issues.
it in his
Ew,
book.
Andy.
No, I'm
Scared,
being
I'm
dead
scared.
serious. So like
It's-
one downside to OCD is you have like intrusive thoughts.
Yeah, I
And
know.
they're either violent, sexual. It's whatever's like the worst thing you could pop into your head will pop in because you don't want to be that way. So the downside to it is sometimes you can have pretty crazy dreams.
Yeah, but then
And,
don't fucking publish it in your book.
Well, he's a psychologist.
Fucking weirdo.
He's a psychologist. I mean, he's normalizing these things because it is a normal thing people experience. It's not.
I will say with OCD that does.
OCD population's
I don't think you
huge.
should normalize that.
I mean, a dream is not an intentional thing. It's part of your.
I understand it's not
subconscious
intentional,
expression
but I
of
don't
your
think it's normal. I wouldn't call that normal. I would call that something you go to therapy for.
But it's not like me having those like thoughts.
Judging you, I'm saying we shouldn't put it in a book. So it's like, so if he's saying it's not normal to have gender crisis, a gender crisis where you feel like you weren't born the correct gender, and that's inherently wrong, and all of this stuff, then him having a dream about his grandma and having sex with his grandma is also inherently wrong, and you need to get
I've
there.
never heard him say that it was not a normal thing to struggle with gender identity.
He
I've heard him-
strongly disagrees.
He
with
disagrees with the modern psychology, the modern thinking on it, where we have to accept that if that child feels it early on, that's their reality. That's what he pushes back on. So he's all for, yeah, it's a normal thing to experience. In fact, it's a very common thing for people to experience, especially later in like their 17 to 25-year-olds, to experience some sort of gender dysmorphia. What he pushes back on is like, if you feel that at an early age, there's a lot of people who are like, okay, well then that's reality. But that's not in reality. People will experiment and they'll experience things early on, or they may dabble in it because that's the whole point. They're figuring out themselves. So that's where he pushes back on it. That's why I think a lot of his stuff is picked apart and like I think people cherry pick like.
I don't
not
think
sermons,
you
but
can cherry pick all of this. I truly feel like, as a psychologist, as someone who is supposed to be supportive of mental struggles, I think for him to go online and be so polarizing with his takes on them is a disservice. And then I also think publishing things and having things out there, and I understand that there are issues where you could have these streams, and of course, it's not like you want to have these streams.
It's not even an issue.
Not like these things. But
You
it's
can have
also
those
like,
things without
if you're saying
doing it.
his goal is to normalize that, I don't think it's supposed, I think that's something you go to therapy for and work on. I don't think that's something that's inherently, like, I don't, like, that wouldn't happen to me.
It could. You don't like. It's not a conscious thing. He's dreaming. Like you can't control what you dream. It's just part of your.
I understand
brain.
that, but I also don't know that I would go and publish it in a book and talk about it. I think I would go to
What's the
therapy and be like,
context
what the
of-
fuck is this about?
What's the context of the story? What was he telling? Why was he sharing it? That's what I'd be curious about. Like I'm curious what the whole chapter's about.
I will say, Andy, I do, because of my obsessive compulsive disorder, I do have, I'm not going to say the thoughts, but I have extremely troubling, gross
But
thoughts.
that's something you get help, like
Yeah.
that's something you go to therapy for.
Right, but it
I'm
is
not
nice to
saying I
know
don't
that
have
other
dark
people
thoughts.
have, not dark thoughts, just gross thoughts that, you know, I don't, like, make me uncomfortable. It's also nice to know that, like, it's not like I'm just an all-alone freak. Like, everybody with OCD has these weird, gross thoughts because of the weird obsessive-compulsive part of the brain.
The reason why I wanted to delve into this more is because, like, let's say this guy, like, we don't like some of his opinions, and we think that some of his opinions are crap. It doesn't mean we should demonize everything about him. And I don't think that it makes him inherently a bad person. He's a different person, for sure. But I don't know. I don't know. I
put it in the
appreciate
chat
his.
if you want to read it.
I appreciate his intellectual prowess. I think he's an extremely intelligent man, and I really appreciate his takes. And I also appreciate what he's doing in the intellectual community, bringing these guys together. He was just talking with Richard Dawkins. And although I
mean,
don't
there's
agree
a
with
reason he
Richard,
got banned from teaching at a college.
right? But
Right.
what's the reason? Okay, let's say this. Okay, so let's say it's a very
So he got banned
liberal,
from a
progressive
college.
college.
But he got banned from a college, Andy. Clearly, and I understand, but there are people at liberal colleges who
Right.
teach who aren't liberal thinkers,
yeah.
who
It-
don't get fired. He got fired.
Okay, but why did he get
but
fired?
that right there.
Does that mean that
but
he's so? If I get
that
fired,
right there, like a board of directors decided that he wasn't fit to teach people.
okay. So Steve, Armin, and whatever thought I wasn't fit to work at their business. Does that make me a bad person, or does that make it an opinion of those few people?
But I mean, you weren't teaching the masses.
I was teaching some people.
You weren't teaching. You weren't teaching at a college.
But I'm teaching in a professional sense.
I
That's what I'm
think-
trying to
I
say.
think
What's the
it's very
difference?
hard to get fired once you are
Tenured,
like,
unless the
tenured
board
at a
actually
college.
wants you out. But what is
Right.
there a political reason why they did it? Is he truly a bad teacher? Was the
I
content
think
that
he
he was teaching bad?
pushing really harmful takes.
Maybe. But you
I'm
have
not
to.
saying he's inherently evil. I'm saying that I don't feel like, as somebody who is a psychologist, that he is pushing healthy beliefs out there.
I disagree. I think
Okay,
I
and
think
that's
that
okay.
I think it's just two different ways of.
I
Like,
think I'm a
viewing it.
lot more liberal in my beliefs than
Yeah.
you are, but I also feel like that's okay, and you're allowed to enjoy something that I dislike strongly, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
And I think that's the beauty of like what like a true liberal arts college is like you have extremely conservative professors that may challenge you and make you think like, I hate this guy, I don't agree with him. Then you get and argue with him, you know. And then you have
Disagree
really
with that,
liberal
but I
teachers
think there
too.
are reasons. I think there would be a reason a board of directors would vote somebody
Maybe,
out of a college.
unless it was political pressure, and that's what I think he was pushing back against. He's like, okay, well then, when are we allowed to have a free expression of ideas here? Because if you shout down one as empirically wrong, well, what are you qualifying that as? Like, how do you qualify empirically wrong if you're not calling to a higher power?
What's up, Rainy?
And like in liberal arts, Charlotte, they
How
don't
are you?
have a higher power, so they should accept all levels of thinking, no matter how absurd it is. That's why I
And
always
I think at a certain point it could be more harmful to push out misinformation than
if the
What's going on, Rainy? How you doing? They're just having a really deep discussion right now, and I didn't want to interrupt them. Hope everything's going well, Rainy. Miss you. Haven't seen you in a while.
how do you judge that though? So like, who's the qualifier for what's harmful and what's not?
I think the board of directors of the college
But does
were
that
enough.
if so, like those people, for example, they say that, hey, this is harmful, we're taking it out. How is that in my eyes? So like, those people qualified it as harmful. They took.
I'll mute it for a second. Let them have their discussion. How's everybody? How's Rainy? How's Carmen? How are we doing here? Carmen, you're funny. Not much, just cleaning and catching the stream finally. I've been sick and stuff, but finally feeling better. Oh, well, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm sorry you were sick. Yeah, I've been streaming pretty much 5 days a week from 8 o'clock to almost midnight every week, so I'm doing okay. Not too bad today. Had a crazy couple days on the holidays. We had Thanksgiving, my birthday passed by, Ellie's birthday passed by, my dad's birthday, a lot of crazy stuff going on. Back to streaming, now we're playing RuneScape and Balantra at the same time.
About psychology, you know. So, like, maybe I do lean more liberal on that, especially because I think mental health, especially, is a sensitive thing for many, many people. So it's like whenever you're teaching in a college, I think that's where you want to be a little bit less.
Let's see. It's good to hear and love that you're playing 2 games. Yeah, I've been every night now. I've been playing 2 games at once. It's pretty great. That we have ran into an issue or two where there have been people trying to steal my sand crab spot. I've had to get a little ugly, but it's all good. Yeah, my holidays were pretty good. I got a rotisserie chicken oven for my birthday, and I made a whole rotisserie chicken. I'll post pictures in the Discord. I know I put them in B-Town's food channel, if you want to pop over there and take a look. So that was pretty cool. Carmen and her sister actually got me this figurine. It's me, with the fishing rod and the game controller. And the hat that I wear in web fishing, I got that for my birthday. The If I've Gone Missing, I've Gone Fishing hat. That's pretty sick. Oh, you're good. Life comes first, Liz B-Town always says. Always talking about the rotisserie chicken. Carmen can't stand it.
For
Where?
like abortion rights.
Oof. Hot topic. I think I muted it. Full house. A full house. Everywhere you look, everywhere you look. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing soon because it's been a while. I'll admit, it's been a while since I played web fishing, so we're getting back to it. We're getting back to it soon. Don't worry. Oh, man. Hot topics. See, the problem is, I was upgrading my magic stats in RuneScape here, but I ran out of money in game. Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I ran out of money, and I also needed to buy a lot of these one type of items in bulk so I can enchant them, because you can actually enchant items without having your focus on the game, kind of like the crabs here. But I ran out of money. Finally got some money, and the items that I'm trying to buy are in high demand, so I'm waiting for the in-game market system to buy all the items for me so I can go back to Magic. Carmen says, Yo, Austina, can I get unbanned from your server? Depends. Can you keep it rated PG in there? And I mean like hardcore rated PG? Carmen? Gold card. Let me just pop in and see if they're still talking about that.
In a very primal, evolutionary.
Yep. I'll pop in every now and then and check. Ooh, king card. That's a good card to have. Inside polychrome. Yeah, I'll get that, Nick. 30 PG. So basically, if you wouldn't talk about it on talk like you would talk in a Nickelodeon TV show. You know what I'm saying? I can unban you, but you have to behave. Just don't talk the way you do in Ellie's Discord. Rainy says I can try and go do that. Yes, please. Because I don't actually know how to unban people from Discord, so unless you know. That voice crack though. Let's see. Play this pair. This is a tough Bellatro deck too. It's really gonna be a struggle, I feel like. Unless I get lucky here later on. Also, Rainy, let me post it in the music channel. I found this new type of music on YouTube. It's called Jungle Fatigue. Andy makes fun of me for it, but there's a whole ton of different volumes of Jungle Fatigue. It's this type of music. If this is your thing, definitely recommend it. Yeah, I like it. For something about this music playing while I'm playing these two games at once is like an amazing vibe. I don't know. Every two that I discard. Also strongly considering So I'm having issues with TikTok right now, where TikTok's repeatedly banning me. Hold on. I'm having a lot of issues where TikTok's constantly banning me now or censoring me. So I was thinking of just posting clips regularly, like every day, on TikTok and then streaming on Twitch indefinitely. I don't know. I'm not 100% on it yet. But, I don't know. It just feels like anytime I go on TikTok anymore, they just slap me right away with some kind of a violation. I don't know. Yeah, it's not that like I haven't been streaming. It's just on there. Like every time I go live, within like 10 minutes, TikTok will find some reason to punish me, and then like I immediately get removed from people's For You page. And then once you get you're removed from the For You page for the night, like it's your whole night for streaming on there is like, it's like you're done. I'm gonna try once or twice more, but like, yeah, it's just trending in a direction where it's like TikTok's getting harder for me. The bigger I get, the harder it is on TikTok for people to watch me. I don't know. But on Twitch, I mean, tonight's kind of a down night because I streamed a little later than usual. I've been getting a lot better numbers. I even got a bunch of gifted subs from somebody the other day when I was playing. A lot more followers too. And B-Town raided me the other day, which was really awesome. Love B-Town. I don't know, it just feels like Twitch is more successful for me so far. Feels like TikTok, I'm just stuck in a pit. Unless I'm doing something wrong and I just don't realize it. Oh, nice. I'm almost to level 50 hit points. Slow moving, but at least it's some kind of progress. Yeah, Carmen does watch every stream now, almost every single time, all the way to the end. Really appreciate that. I appreciate the lurking. I get it, like if somebody doesn't want to talk, or if they don't have time to talk, or if they're just like have me on while they're doing something else. I appreciate that a lot. Just being on and watching me really makes a difference. I've also learned that like on TikTok, that like in the first 10 to 15 minutes of my stream, if I get a lot of likes, it'll push my stream out there in front of everybody and like gets me out of the weird like not that I'm shadow banned, it's just like it puts me out there, and if I don't get likes, then people don't see my live. I don't know. Carmen says I had to get a I'm your biggest fan of Luminosity t-shirt. Well, thank you, Rainy. Discarded jack, pair, king, poker hand. I played pair a lot.
Or 60% of their takes, but
7. We gotta get rid of one of these. Let's throw away the golden joker. We don't need him anymore. But yeah, put him. Yeah. We're good.
OC, Alexandria Cortez, AOC. I mean,
yeah.
people are like, even people on like that are staunch right wing.
Oh, still going. My God, I can't talk about politics for more than maybe 2 minutes before my anxiety goes through the roof. Politics causes me so much anxiety. Like I was telling them before, like I don't watch the news. I get my news from TikTok, and even on TikTok, if it's the news is too news for me, I'll swipe. I don't watch the news. I don't pay attention to politics. I just stick my head in the sand, and you know what?